Dead franchise. Okay.
Why don't they just go back to the thing?
Do an Evil Dead 3. You know, you can title it Evil Dead 3 because, you know, you have Evil Dead,
A
Evil
bunch
Dead
of
2,
other dumb people
Army of
going
Darkness,
out
Evil Dead 3, or call it either way, whatever it is. And actually follow Ash. He intentionally goes back to the cabin to get the book and to try to, you know, totally close the portal and everything. That's the whole premise. And then you could even segue it right into Ash versus Evil Dead and explain, you know, why he has the book again. Because then he had the book again in it?
We could literally sit all night and spend tales of how that movie could have been better.
Yeah.
And incorporated Bruce Campbell in it. Because even if you did a whole new cast and only had him cameo as like the store clerk that worked down the end of the road and said, you kids don't go snooping around that cabin. At the end, and he comes in and kicks ass and saves everyone.
And he is Ash, just keeping an eye on the cabin to make sure nobody fucking goes there.
I don't have a problem. I have a problem with the brother too because he just wanders around the film like Mr. Magoo. Like nothing happens to him until the end where he gets one thing. I mean, like I think he's got shot in the shoulder. I get that. But did you notice that he didn't fucking feign a shoulder shot the rest of the movie? Like he got shot in the shoulder, and then after he got shot in the shoulder, he gets up and he doesn't act like he got shot in the shoulder at all. Like there's no acting at all. It's just really bad. And the nurse is such a fucking cunt too. The way she acts, and like I love the fact that the blonde, when she does say something, she actually says something. She does say, "Well, it's you. We've been following your lead the whole time, and you're kind of stupid. We found out. You know what I mean? Like it's one of them. Like, hey, touche. It's just rough.
I like the Oldsmobile in the back just rotting away. That was the only cool thing I thought about the movie.
Well, that was the only other
my problem was
thing that I could say about it.
Well, you can't really tell how deep the creek is that's flowing over the thing, but I was like, you have a Jeep and the air exhaust is high for a reason. You probably could have just bulldozed right through that water. Or a smart man would have just left her there and swam. Because I would just swam for it.
I'm like, every man for himself.
Remember what the immortal words of Hank. She's your girlfriend. You deal with it. I'm out of here. Now that's smart. Yep, but there's too many loose ends in this film. There's too many unanswered questions. Who are these people? Why was there a body burnt in the basement? Who the fuck are these people? Why is there this thing going on?
Yeah, I wish there was a little bit more exposition on that.
This is a privately owned cabin by a certain family. What is going on in this cabin, and why don't you know about it? And here's the thing: is if you were leaving open ends to tie up in a sequel, I think that's very bold of you because this fucking film does not merit a sequel at all.
I don't think it even's gonna get one, man.
At all. If it didn't have a sequel by now, it's not going to. And like I said, it's very bold of you because this is a piece of heaping stinking garbage and doesn't merit a fucking sequel, so you shouldn't have fucking left loose ends in the first place. If you had a more concise, well-written, and well-executed film, we would have probably at least half-assed appreciated the fucking thing. But no, you didn't.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, with having such a love for the franchise, for the Evil Dead series, I mean, even a remake, I mean, I went out of my way to get it and watch it, even though I was told it wasn't very good. But because of my love for the franchise, I was still like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
If you would have even made a halfway decent film, I would have been like, didn't really like it, but okay. But okay.
I just think it was funny because I was watching the beginning of it.
I mean, I had to sit on my shelf for 5 years without ever touching it.
Look at the dust.
Yeah, without ever touching it.
Well, it was funny because like there was that point where the dog was injured and he pulled it out dead. But even though it was like, how do you go from injured to stone dead? Like in one yelp. Yeah, but I was like, here's funny. I'm watching this. Here's where the majority of actual film watchers are paying attention because it's a dog that's hurt, not a human. Like, because they actually give a fuck about animals for some reason, even though they're just fucking animals. But like, everyone's bleeding their hearts out right now. But as soon as that dog, they know it's dead, they don't give a fuck again because they don't care about the people. And why should they? They're not likable. They're not likable.
So let's because you really went on a real long tangent here about this. How much your hate for this film.
No, actually, I like this film more than the original.
You're so full of fucking shit.
Oh.
So let's talk though. Let's put back to back here. What would you say is worse? And I know the other film was not a remake, but you did have a whole podcast devoted to it. This film, the Evil Dead remake, or The Dead Don't Die. Which one are you going to? Which one is better?
What are you talking about?
All right, so if you had to pick
Between the Dead Don't Die or the Evil Dead remake, which one are you
It could be
picking?
a whole separate.
I would watch
thing.
The Dead Don't Die every day compared to this.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That's saying a lot because you said about half hour.
That is a
about
bold.
that.
That is a bold statement, man.
Yeah. I could be bored instead of disappointed.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what?
I think
You
I
know
would
what?
agree though.
You know
I
what,
think I
though?
agree.
I could do other things while I watch Dead
You
Don't
know,
Die. Like
I was
paint,
thinking about because
masturbate.
at first I was like,
I mean, I could always come to
at
This
first
Carrie.
I
has
was
Bill
like,
Murray in it.
yeah.
Yeah,
At first I was
yeah.
like, I'll go with the Evil Dead over that. But then I started thinking
It's
about
got
it.
Steve Buscemi.
I started
in it.
thinking, and I was like, there's some humorous parts.
Yeah, no, there's
in the Dead Don't
actually
Die. There are-
At least
no,
it's
there are-
original,
yeah,
too.
there's a couple
No,
of
there
parts
there
that make me
are
chuckle.
this will raise a dry smile. There is a few chuckles in Dead Don't Die at least. You know what I mean? And I can always shoot a load of Carol Kane. So I mean
Every
that's
day.
there.
Every day.
Yeah, exactly. But this is just garbage.
Yeah, that's bad.
You know,
how bad it is? Let me explain how bad this movie is. When I started dating my girlfriend, we had she wanted to watch the movie, so I went out and bought it. Mistake. And we
you
watched
didn't like it that much.
Nah.
I like it.
We watched
It's
it,
easy drinking.
and we decided to go somewhere, so I left the movie on the coffee
You do realize
table.
It's like 16 years old though.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna try a little bit. Another swig of it.
You want to try some of it?
I'm sure some of
Yeah,
it.
it's 16 years. It's pretty old.
Was it rough?
No, actually, it's not. It's really easy drinking. Actually,
A little watered down taste.
no water down. It's oxidized.
I don't like the nose on it.
But
I don't smell.
so we went somewhere. I left the movie on the coffee table. Came back. The dog pulled it off the coffee table and shit on it.
Yeah, you sent me that picture.
and it's so funny because if he had his shit somewhere, we were home. He was shit by the door. Nope, right in the middle of the living room. Shit right on the DVD.
I'm sure there's films I would watch over. Or I would watch this over.
I would watch
I'm
paint dry.
Sure,
I
there's
would watch
probably-
this over Blood Creek Raccoon, and I would watch this over Piranha 3D.
You know what? It has been all right. So it's been
Wow.
pushing.
Fuck, man.
It's been about 15
They're
years.
horrible.
I watched the Fog remake. I did watch that one time,
Mm-hmm.
and it was shortly after it was released on DVD and everything. If I remember correctly, I would probably watch this over the
Here's
Fog
the thing:
remake.
is 1981. Ellen Sandweiss at least gets an. Actually, Ellen Sandweiss and what's her Betsy Baker get tits out. No tits. 3 fucking high class,
Yeah, what the
worthless,
fuck?
fucking dumb, vapid sluts and a crack whore, and no fucking tits. Are you fucking kidding me?
Not even undead. Not even like.
Not even an
model.
undead tits.
Not
like
even
nothing.
a nip slip. Not
Yeah.
even a wet
Which
t-shirt.
isn't even necessarily like.
The only
thing that
person
I'm
you
always
see
looking
naked
for,
is
but, like-
that thing at the end.
Yeah.
It was like that fucking bitch from the Shining bathtub comes out, and that's it. I mean, like, at least bathe me with gratuitous nudity for no reason. I mean,
probably got a better score.
the thing
out
is,
of it.
you have to make up for the lack of acting, and there is no acting in this. It's horrible.
Well, I guess we can all agree across the board that the movie sucked.
They were on the same page once.
Yeah, we were all agreeing. We wholeheartedly agree on this one. This is just.
I like Paul watching terrible films.
I did nice.
I mean, like
sometimes,
legit
but,
terrible. Like,
You know.
I want to feed him more.
Oh no! Now we're gonna have to do the.
We're gonna do the Fog remake.
Oh, no,
That's
we're
the
gonna
next
do the
one.
Fog.
That's the next one. Fog remake. I gotta find it. Does anybody
Oh
have a
my
copy? I don't have
God.
a copy of it.
I have the original.
I got the original too. It's good.
I think we all just have the
Yeah,
original.
everybody's
I
got
don't think
the
no one
original,
actually
yeah.
wants to read
Now,
it.
did anyone actually ever buy that, like in real history?
Well,
no.
you know
Let's
what?
stop. Let's stop. Hold on.
All right.
The Twitters,
The
the
twatters.
Twatters. They put a poll on which is better, the remake or the original, and some people pick remake
Of Evil Dead.
of Evil
Yeah, can you
Dead.
believe those people exist?
You got patrolling.
No, the
Patrol,
the
right? You have to
retard.
be
There
trolling.
are so many retarded people
You
that
have
are
to be
modern
trolling.
horror fans that deserve a fucking bullet to
Even
the
you know
skull.
what? You know what? Even modern horror fans, like I literally cannot
There
find
are
a reason
people-
why you would pick
There
this.
are people who have literally never watched this, ever, but have watched this. Why would you ever watch this before you watch that?
Well, you know,
I've met
I
people
get-
that have never watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
well, like here's the thing. I get somebody maybe watching this first, but then being like, "Oh, it was a remake." Like,
I
look,
better
it's
go check out the
this
original.
is this thing. I go look at the like go watch the old one. Like I know if I watch something and it's like based off of or inspired by or influenced
yeah.
from or
Yeah.
You want to compare
whatever.
notes. You want to compare notes.
Oh, I've met people that have never watched Night of the Living Dead, never watched Dawn of the Dead, never watched Texas Chainsaw
I mean-
Massacre, but they were like big Walking Dead fans, and they're
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
oh,
don't get-
shut the fuck up.
I will say I agree with you in that respect. I've never understood the when I talk to people and they're like, I'm a big horror fan. I'm like, all right, cool. and they're like, I like
the main four. And that's
everything picks up from Scream onwards, and I'm like, well, have you ever watched like this or that or this? And they're like, no, they're too old. I'm like, too old. All right, even if you're gonna say they're too old, I'm like, these are cornerstones of horror. Like, even if you don't want to watch the rest of the stuff from that era or anything,
I can understand you're not going to go back to the 40s and 50s. But
you should go back and watch Night of the Living Dead. You should go back and watch Evil Dead. You should go back and watch.
If you're talking about like The Exorcism of Everly Rose or whatever, then you should at least watch The Exorcist.
Yeah, if you're gonna tell me that you're a big horror fan, which is fine. I know everybody's got their own things.
If you're gonna say I like Paranormal Activity, then you should watch Amityville Horror.
Yeah,
like simple things like that. If
like you should.
If you're gonna watch Debbie Does Dallas, you should watch Deep Throat.
I have both
exactly.
And Mistress and the Devil and Miss Jones.
It'd be like if somebody was like, I love action movies, and I'm like, cool, like. What do you think of Die Hard? And they're like, I never watched Die Hard. I'm like, why the fuck would you never watch Die Hard? You tell me that you're a big action movie.
My favorite Die Hard is Die Hard 3. Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the same kind of premise. Like, you can't tell me that you're huge into this stuff and then just disregard these cornerstones of the industry. Like, I get maybe you haven't watched every Jean-Claude Van Damme
could you imagine? Let's get off horror for a second. Let's do non-horror. Okay.
Okay.
A Twitter poll, completely non-horror, of course. Ghostbusters or the female, and then could you imagine people picking the female Ghostbusters over the original?
Yeah, which would happen. But that's because that would happen because of woke
they
culture
do it. I'm sorry, but I'll never be woke because I was never asleep.
You'll be the yoke.
Yoke woke. I was born right the first time. I don't need to be born again. I don't need to be woke because I never fell asleep, you dick fuck motherfuckers.
I've talked to quite a bit of people who like and enjoy the female Ghostbusters.
Why? Because they're sadists?
I don't...
Did we talk about this before? Because I feel like we talked about this before.
We probably will talk about this a lot because Ghostbusters seems to be the running joke with me now.
Look, 2016 Ghostbusters, premise was not a bad idea. The idea of the film, the base idea of the film was not a bad idea. We've definitely talked about this before.
I have no problem with female Ghostbusters. I
just have a problem with females.
Yes, the way
there's no reason for it. You could have easily just made that movie at this point in the storyline, make Ghostbusters franchised. That everyone has deals with ghosts everywhere.
Every fucking person ever watched Ghostbusters. The story of Ghostbusters says that exact same thing.
This could have been their grandkids or their daughters.
Either let's make it it's a franchise organization and this is a new franchise of Ghostbusters starting
Did that Ghostbuster ever come out that you were talking about back when you were in Glassstop?
Oh, no, it's been made, but they keep holding off because of COVID. Now it's 21. Right for it.
Because I love it.
They're holding that back for us.
I love it. They go to his farm. They find all the stuff. And they think they can do the same thing they did.
Excited as
they
hell
do
for
it.
And the fact
that the real Ghostbusters have to come out
it afterwards.
Like seriously though, like the thing that gets me cheesed up about the fucking 2021 one is the fact that the movie poster has an old truck that says Shandor Drilling on it. And anyone who knows anything about the first film, Ivo Shandor was the guy who built Dana Barrett's apartment. And is the one who put all this wheels in motion.
Right.
So somewhere along the line, Shandor's family's involved in this.
Yeah.
And I noticed too that the kids are hanging out in an old drilling pit.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, somewhere along the line, the Shandors are playing another major role in this, which gets me so hard. I love it.
I really have, and it sucks because I get so worried anymore because I get high expectations for continuations of film franchises. And they just end up letting me down. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, this Ghostbusters movie getting ready to drop.
Do you think it's because it's taken so long too, so they might be taking their time with it, or?
Well, no, it's made.
I think they're.
They took their time with it when they were making it because they were telling me about it in 2018.
You know what I think? I honestly think they are. They know that this movie is going to be so good that they're waiting intentionally for.
The question is, will Egon be a ghost?
Egon is a ghost.
Egon is a ghost.
There you go.
Egon is the ghost. Ivan Reitman helped write it with Jason Reitman, his son. And Dan Aykroyd helped write it. So you have three original. The only one you're missing is Harold Ramis, but he's gone. But you have three of the original guys writing it. Mm-hmm. You have a son directing it. I mean, you have the original cast in it.
And my understanding, the original cast is in it
now,
as themselves.
Their question was arise, is the second film canon now? Because they only referenced the first film in the trailer. They never talk about anything in the second film.
Did they mention the fact that Rick Moranis came out of retirement to start filming again? Now, is he in there as well?
Now, that's the question of the day.
That's the question of the day.
People are saying that he's making now. They said he's not in the movie. Jason Reitman said he's not in it, but a lot of people who've worked on the set said there's going to be a surprise in there.
Because he magically came out of retirement.
Yeah,
the same
no
time.
shit too. And that was the film that really put him
yeah,
on the map. I mean, he did Spaceballs, he did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but the one that really gave him a star in Hollywood was Ghostbusters.
right.
And I really hope for Gracie
Man,
Connie, even if it's 5 seconds, him go, "Oh hey guys, you know, all right, who locked the door?" You know, like some shit like that. But I'm having faith in this movie. And I just love that the original Ghostbusters are in it, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Even Harold Ramis, they were able to CGI him in and do his part.
The talk about
that was rough when Ramis passed.
Oh yeah.
You guys belly aching about this horrible Ghostbusters film is much more enjoyable than watching Evil Dead the remake. So thank you. Yeah, I like it.
Would you rather watch Evil Dead remake or the Ghostbusters 2016?
2016 Ghostbusters.
You know what?
Though I hate it,
Me
I like
too.
Rowan in that movie because he was a
Me
cool
too.
villain. But and I will. This is what I'll say about the 2016 Ghostbusters. I'll give credit where it's due. They were able to use certain aspects that they couldn't use in the original film because of technology wasn't there at the time,
right.
and budgeting, like the ghost punchers where she put the gloves on.
Yeah, there was some
that was all
concepts
stuff
that were.
Egon wanted
Now,
to have
would you
a whole
rather
bunch
watch
of weapons.
this female Ghostbusters or female Ghostbusters with my faces on them?
I would watch female Ghostbusters with your faces on them.
Yeah, because I sent you some of those gifts.
I'd rather watch this with your faces on the characters.
There you go. See,
I would rather watch Paul nude, fondling himself, than watch that.
Yeah, I would.
Don't send me that.
So
tonight,
this
though.
is this going to be our baseline, like bottom?
This is the bottom of the pair. No, there are films I would rather watch.
I'm sure there's films I would rather watch it. Or I would watch this.
I would watch that over Blood Creek, Raccoon, and Piranha 3D. I know that for a fact.
I've got a bunch of really B-90.
Well, the first episode we were actually supposed to do on the ManiacsMeat podcast was 5 horrible films we own.
5 horrible films we own.
Yeah,
we never did do that.
We never did.
We did 5 terrible films we own that we like.
That
everyone else hates.
I think we should do the 5 terrible films that we own.
That we don't like.
And then that we don't like.
Yeah.
And then we make the others watch them.
Yeah.
And then everybody can really.
At least the ones I have breast in them. Because I don't own Blood Creek, Raccoon, and Piranha 3D.
You're gonna watch Ghostbusters, so fuck off.
Wow.
Wow.
That's pretty rough. Anyway. Is
that
it?
Oh yeah, no, I got it.
Is that it?
It's a terrible movie.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Great movie. Terrible. Okay. So 10 out of 10. And
minus 10.
You gotta at least give it like a 0.75 because there's movies that Paul will watch this over.
I'm gonna give this one. I mean, is this a 10?
That's a 10.
For a horror film. I mean, we already talked. But
we're comparing apples to oranges here.
This is a 10. This is a 2.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
I wanted to go high because I wanted to go a little high. I did. I wanted to go high, so I don't want to be too polarizing. I'm just saying, like, this is.
I'll give it. Yeah, no, I'll give it 2. I'll give it 2 for the fact that someone did something I couldn't do, and that was make a movie.
Yeah,
I'll give you the credit there.
It's just like the old driving laws. Put your hands on 10 and 2.
Yep.
Not 9 and 3 now. No, it's 9 and 3.
Film quality's not bad.
No, film quality's not bad.
Film quality's not bad.
My thing that really pissed me off, and it started getting comical. Again, it was a horrible thing of continuity. Her makeup, every time she had blood on her face, every time it would completely cover her. But every time the camera focused on her, her eyes were clean and her mouth was clean every time.
She played a Juggalo.
She kept they just kept on cleaning it off, and then a bright light shone. But she was completely covered, and every time that you had a close up on her, she was clean.
So the things that were good about this was the car from the original. The film quality was pretty good.
The credits.
The credits were nice.
And
there was that decent effect with the guy getting hit in the hand by a crowbar.
Yeah.
And Bruce Campbell's like,
you know what? And did I mention the fact that when you have a nail gun, you need like an air tank, air compressor to actually shoot the fucking nails
idea
out?
Was neat though, huh?
Well, they already did Nail Gun Massacre, so
maybe that's
because he had the portable air compressor with him and he was shooting.
That's the little homage that you were looking for to older horror films.
Oh, was that it?
The nail gun.
Was that it?
Throw back to Not Gun Mask.
I like
remember-
the fact that she didn't go anywhere. She didn't it was just in the house.
Remember, Ash never reloaded a gun ever in
Yeah.
this movie.
But you know what? But you know what?
No, he did it.
Yeah.
You know what though? You heard him reload it.
Yeah.
If you listen to this,
Yeah,
if
you
listen
hear
to
it.
the
You
effects,
hear it.
You hear the.
Yeah.
You hear the reloads, but you very seldom see
Yeah.
the reloads.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's there.
They just throw them in, like, even though, like, timeline, like, time-wise, I'm like, there's no way you can do it that fast. But, like, you hear it.
Did you notice, like, in Evil Dead 2, when Ash gets possessed, right? When he becomes unpossessed, he still has cuts all over his fucking face. Because you don't magically heal.
I'm alright.
Yeah. Just saying. Like, there you go. Yeah. What a train wreck.
All right, well.
You know.
Yeah, it was rough.
It was rough.
It's a rough ride.
It was rough. There was nothing good about it whatsoever, and I hate it.
So you'll be watching it again, is what you're saying?
I think the next comparison.
as soon as I get home.
I think the next comparison we really need to do the Fog remake.
You're
Fog.
just chock full of bad ideas, aren't you?
I know.
Well, we'll see
You have
what
no
kind
idea.
of we'll see what the we're going like 50 minutes on this thing.
Totally worth it.
Totally worth it. You know what? That's about the length of this film, and it was much more enjoyable.
Yeah, this is probably more entertaining.
Yeah.
You should put that in the fucking title. Better than the remake.
Better
Talk about.
This conversation is better than the film.
A warning: this conversation was better than the film. Do not watch this at home. Do not accept this.
Yeah.
Do not do this if you're smoking, pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there
Sign
it
us
is.
off, man.
Yeah, we're signing off. This has been Paul.
Josh.
And Mike.
Maniacs Meat Podcast. Oh God, what a train wreck. See you next time when we're gonna do, I guess, the
Something.
Fog.
I don't think we have the copy.
Let's just
The
talk
remake
about
copy.
that off camera.
That's gonna be talked about off camera. We'll come back with something juicy, coosy. Cheers.